Now we know that the security rules in the security group enables you to filter the type of network traffic that can flow in and out of your virtual network subnets and the network interfaces. When you create a resource like a virtual machine, there are certain default security rules that are created, and they are categorized as inbound and outbound security rules. So there are three default inbound security rules. The rules deny all inbound traffic except from the virtual network and from Azure load balancers. There are three outbound security rules. The rules only allow outbound traffic to the internet and the virtual network. It is easy to add more inbound and outbound rules. So there is a basic and advanced page. The advanced page option lets you select from a large variety of services such as HTTPS, RDP, FTP, and DNS. Let's talk more about it by launching the Azure portal and looking at these inbound rules and see how you can add a rule there. Alright, here's my Azure portal and I will type network security groups in the search box. You will see two options here at least. Other one is classic, which we don't want to get into because that is an older method of managing security groups. This will be deprecated. So the one that we'll be focusing on is the network security groups. So we'll click on it and then you can either click on this add button or click on this blue button which says create new security group. Go through the regular options, subscription, select your resource group, and then I will create a security group with the name allow 80. So I want to allow port number 80, and then you can select the region in which you want to host this network security group. So mostly this will be hosted in the same region where your resources are. Keep in mind that you cannot link resources with the security groups in two different regions. So if your security group is in, let's say, East US and your virtual machines are in West US, you cannot link them together. They must be in the same region. For demonstration purposes, I will select East US, tag them, review, and then finally create them. It takes less than a minute to show the network security groups on the screen. So my network security group called allow 80 is now created. Let's click on it and look into the options we have here. As we discussed earlier, we have the two security rules called inbound and outbound, and there are three rules in each one of them. As you see, there's a deny rule right here which has a priority of 65500. The lowest priority always wins. So let's say we have two rules with the same port number, 80 in this case, let's say, and they have certain priority. One of them says allow and another one says deny. Which one will win? Well, the one with the lowest number always wins. So if there is any conflicting rule in the inbound security rules or the outbound security rules, the number in the priority is looked at, and the one with the lowest number always wins. You can add the network security rules by clicking on the settings and then inbound security rules, and then click on add to add the source, port ranges, destination port ranges, protocols, and the action that you may want to take. You can also add the priority here and the name of your network security rule. You can click on the advanced version. Just by clicking on basic and advanced, you will toggle between basic and advanced. The service specifies the destination protocol and port range for this rule. So you can choose between the predefined services like HTTPS and SSH. When you select a service, the port range is automatically completed. So you can choose the custom to provide your own port range. So if you select custom, you can specify your own port range here. Otherwise, if you select any of the predefined ones, the port number is automatically populated. As you see in this case, I have selected SSH and the port number for SSH is automatically populated. Let's select custom and then the port ranges option is automatically enabled. So you can specify and choose a custom service than specifying a single port. Or you can also specify a custom port range, let's say 80 or you have an application requirement where you want to specify 1024 to, let's say, 60,000 dynamic ports, right? The next option here is the priority. We just spoke about it. So this is the order in which the rules are processed. The lower the number, the higher the priority. We recommend leaving gaps between rules. So to not give consequent numbers like 100, 101, 102. The practice is to have gaps between the rule numbers like 100, or then maybe 200 here. The next one will be 300. This is so it is easier to add new rules without editing existing rules. So I will close this option here and discard this and show you the option where you can attach this particular network security group to either a subnet or a network interface. On the left hand side, if you click on the network interface option, you will have the option to associate with a network card. At this point, I do not have any virtual machines or network cards in East US, but I do have subnets. So if you click on subnets, you will have the option to associate it with a subnet in your particular region, right? So just by clicking OK, I'm associating all the rules in the security group with the default subnet in my virtual network called new underscore vnet2. By doing so, all the virtual machines and resources in that subnet will have this rule applied. In this lab, we learned how to create a network security group, edit the security rules, and then also associate with either a network interface or a subnet.